Grievance number 26, Manchurian candidates. We understand from the testimonies of so many who have come forward that you hypnotize young people and then have them commit murders against their will, and that you torture them to break their minds, and then you put a cap on their memory, and under hypnosis these caps are revealed. The Andy Perro story comes to mind. Doctors have discovered the mind caps and reported them, and we want to know why government does something so unethical. Why does government assume the right to do this to our citizens? The kidnapping is wrong. The torture is wrong. The murders are wrong, and we want government to explain it. We know you're never going to hold a press conference to allow reporters to ask these very important questions, so I will ask them as I announce that we don't want to be part of a government which behaves in this unethical, criminal, and unconstitutional manner. This government makes the Nazis of World War II Germany look good. You provide us not with a reason to secede, but a compulsion to secede with this MK Ultra program.
Word to the mother.
President Clinton
Word, 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 word to the mother. Why do this country continue to do these type of things? Why?
evil MK Ultra program. So don't try to deny that the
Don't try.
program exists. Why do you train little kids to do government's dirty work?
Why?
Have you no ethics?
No.
Why does a little girl of 3 years of age have to provide sexual service to the president and Henry Kissinger during the Nixon years?
Sick.
This little girl has come forward to tell her story, and Ted Gunderson, FBI chief, found similar damning evidence, and he connected the McMartin preschool molestations to the CIA. That trial lasted 5 years, and we never got the truth from the media. There is a lot of detail on that case, but we don't have time here to cover it all. One more testimony and I'm done. We have read the Andy Perro story, and we now understand how you train assassins, and we don't approve. Not at all. You have no right to abduct children and train them for any of your criminal acts, and we suspect that Andy Perro wasn't the only one who was trained for assassinations. We would like to know, was James Holmes hypnotized to do the Batman Theater murders? The evidence suggests that he was indeed part of a government program. How many other assassins did you have at that theater?
How
The
many?
witnesses said there were multiple shooters, and
Multiple.
we believe them and not the government's official version of what happened
Don't believe
in
the
the
hype.
Batman movie theater murders. We don't want to be part of this anymore. Training Manchurian candidates will never be acceptable to the American people. Fund your own assassination training programs
Yeah.
because we are through with you.
Do with you.
Government creation of Manchurian candidates is our 26th reason for secession. Grievance number 27, federal claims to land. What gave you the right to claim federal land and centralize the ownership of it? We are supposed to be 50 states, and the Constitution did not authorize the federal government to seize and claim ownership of 48% of California.
What?
62% of Alaska,
What?
35% of New Mexico,
Bullshit.
29% of Montana,
The bitches.
81% of Nevada, 62% of Idaho, and 67% of Utah, to name a few.
Damn
If the
shame.
land is in Utah, it belongs to Utah, not the federal government. California land belongs to California, and every other state owns all the land within its borders, and only they will decide what can be done with that land. We oppose the concentration of power to so few because power corrupts, and we don't want our federal government that corrupt. We are quitting the federal government because we don't like the direction of things. We don't want to consolidate power into the hands of criminals and thieves. We'd much rather disperse power and not allow anyone to have any more power than anyone else. Power corrupts. It's a simple concept. When our 50 states secede, each claims the land within its borders. Now, what do you intend to do? Kill us with our...
What? That's what they trying to do. They trying to kill people, man. Damn. That's what they trying to do. Cause they don't want nobody to have the power.
plan to do this, so what has changed? Isn't that why government bought bullets by the billions? For a department that was set up with the false promise that we'd be safer? How are we safer if this governmental agency is buying bullets to kill us? We will take back the land in each state, and you can do what you want. But you will have much less power if we take our soldiers out of your military so you can't use them against us. When we pull out of the federal union, we cut off all funding to the federal government and leave it with no armies as well. Those generals who agreed to fire on Americans can go with you. And we'll take the ones who did not make such a promise and spoke out publicly against the killing of Americans. Federal claims to lands in our 50 states is our 27th reason for seceding. Grievance number 28, control of water. In addition to your control of federal lands, we have noticed that you're monopolizing fresh water, and the reasons are likely sinister as well. We think you might weaponize this as you have weaponized so many other things like vaccines, the commercial airline jets, federal agencies like the IRS. This is a bad trend and we need to reverse it. We're not happy. The best way is for us to secede, so we quit. All 50 states have decided it would be better if we divorce. You can have the Congress and the Supreme Court, and we'll take the federal lands back. Any fresh water within state boundaries belongs to the state. Government should not be seizing fresh water as a weapon to be used against the people. And your control of water is our 28th grievance. Grievance 29, control of electricity. What sinister reason would government have for buying up all the electric companies? Do you plan to weaponize electricity too? People in the Southwest will die in summer without electricity to run air conditioners and pump water. How do you expect them to live without water or electricity? Is the government planning to murder them without firing a shot? We figure you can kill 200 million Americans in this manner, and we don't like it. It looks ominous, and so we are dropping out of the federal system and cutting off funding to the oppressive and dangerous federal government. It seems that those who appointed you as their puppet have worked hard to arrange monopolies on fresh water and electricity, to name a few. And we think you have a devious agenda. It's better that we drop out now than later, we think. We don't like the threat that this seizure of electricity poses, and it is our 29th reason for seceding from the Union. Grievance number 30, spying on Americans. What does government plan to do with all the information they have collected on citizens? Do you want anyone doing the same to you? Why do you think this is right? If the people knew all of the truth, what would they think about their government? Would anyone still consider the government benevolent? We cite spying on American citizens, our 30th reason for quitting the federal union. Grievance number 31, TSA checkpoints. The Department of Homeland Security seems to be setting up some sort of conditioning, and we don't like our government using mind control processes on us. Would you like to tell us what government has in mind? We're all dying to know. Is the TSA about mind control, slavery, totalitarian rule? Who gets to be the leader? And what is this person going to do to the rest of us? Kill them? Work them to death? Does this person see himself as God? Why doesn't God let us see his face and know his name? What's he afraid of? We don't like the TSA, and it's our 31st reason for leaving the federal group. When we form the next alliance of 50 states, there won't be any federal government. We see what you do with power. It seems that power corrupts, as it always has. Grievance number 32, cops violating constitutional rights of citizens. It is our understanding, Mr. Puppet President, that a perk has been given to cops. They can casually violate the constitutional rights of citizens
What? What's going on now? We have a problem. Someone in the audience. Can you get this guy the audience for us? He's in here.
rights of citizens without reprimand or reprisal by government, and we believe that this is done to win cops to your side as enforcers of an unconstitutional and totalitarian regime. This is fundamentally corrupt, and we oppose it. We see cops as traitors to their nation, violators of their oath to defend the U.S. Constitution, and we also see the bigger plan of those who have invited this abandonment of the Constitution for their own purposes of setting up a Nazi regime. We are on to you, and we will not allow this to happen. Not on our watch. There are those in law enforcement who take the oath to defend the Constitution seriously. They won't allow you to corrupt the cops of this country. Americans should ask those running for chief of police if they intend to keep their oath to the Constitution. And when they don't, the public has a duty to arrest them and charge them with a crime. remove them from office, and set an example for the next police chief that constitutional violations won't be tolerated. When citizens are weak and Nazis are strong, we wind up with checkpoints and federal laws which supersede state laws. And this is like an hourglass that has been turned upside down, with the government holding all the power and the citizenry weak. We will not allow this to happen, and we shall demand that all those who took an oath to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, keep their oath and do jail time when they violate this sacred oath. When cops violate the constitutional rights of the citizenry, this is decadence. And we will do the maintenance necessary to make things right again, to keep our states free. This is our 30-second grievance with government.
And our next announcer will be coming to you from the great state of